It's moving day here in the BVI. We're gonna go from Peter Island over to Soper's Hole. That'll be step one. And there we're gonna go into Customs and Immigration and check out of the BVI. And then, so that'll be step two. And then step three will be moving the small distance from Soper's Hole over to St. John. And then the last step will be getting checked in to the U.S. Virgin Islands after we pick up a mooring or drop our anchor. You excited about going to the USVI, Lindy?
Yeah.
It's been 5 years since we've been in a U.S. territory on holiday.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, well, let's get the anchor up. The winds are pretty high today, but they'll be behind us, so we'll either motor or just sort of put up a small head sail and drift over to Soper's Hole. All right, we're sailing out of Peter Island, heading over towards Tortola. The west end is Soper's Hole. Just a 7-mile sail across. And we can see St. John right in front of us. This part of it's only 5 miles away. We'll be sailing in between the two islands. And then we'll turn into Soper's Hole. And that's where Customs and Immigration is. So it's busy in the Sir Francis Drake Channel today. We just had this boat come right in front of us and go across. Another boat coming that way. We're all just watching out, making sure we don't run into each other. See 2 more catamarans heading our way over there. There's a giant cluster of boats getting underway out of something. Is that Nanny Key Marina over there? Big marina over there, a bunch of boats coming out. Our apparent wind speed is 11.5 knots, kind of like dead behind us. So probably only about 15, so that's on the low side of the forecasted speed, so it's good. Okay, we're getting closer to being in the cut between St. John and Tortola over here. We can see behind us all of Peter Island, and now we can also see Norman Island over here. That's the last of the Channel Islands, where the famous Willie T is. Cool place. We will go there for sure when we come back to the BVI. The wind's picked up, got more like about 18 to 20 now. Apparent wind though is 14 to 16 or 14 to 15. That makes us scoot right along for sure. Just pulled down the sail, turned the motor on. We go in between these 2 little points here. Soper's Hole is to starboard there. And then St. Thomas is in view there as well. Pretty cool. Okay, so we're gonna come in here and try to find a mooring ball. And we'll put the dinghy in the water and then go in Customs and Immigration to check out. All right, we grabbed our mooring ball, got the dinghy in the water, and then Customs and Immigration is that blue building right there. Yeah, all right. Let's go get checked out of the country. That took less than an hour to get the dinghy in the water, get checked out, and then put the dinghy back up on board. Now we've got 3.8 nautical miles to Maho Bay. We come right out of Soper's Hole here, and then go around to the left there, and that's where Maho Bay is. You ready, babe?
Yeah.
So there's like a little cluster of islands here around the pass between Tortola and St. John. You're kind of going in between them. This is some uninhabited island here. Over there is Jost Van Dyke, place I really like to go. That's part of the British Virgin Islands, so we'll go there when we go back across from the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's probably where we'll check in at. We are now in U.S. waters. We're gonna go, there's a little cut in between that little island and this is mainland St. John here. We'll go right through there and we should see the park moorings, Francis and Maho Bay. I think that's Maho and Francis, and then this is Cinnamon over here. Maho being where all the boats are. I think it's one of the more popular places, which is why we want them to go there, because it's a very nice bay. All right, we got us a ball here in Maho Bay, National Park mooring. Awesome. That's where we came in, right there. Came from that way and then right in that gap. Now we just need to get on the phone. You can check into the US on an app, the CBP Roam app, Customs and Border Patrol. So that will be what we do next. All right, so we've made our arrival notice and our status is processing. So we wait. And while we're waiting, we've been seeing turtles surfacing all around us in the beautiful water. Just floating here in Maho Bay. Lindy's starting to do a little straightening down below. Get the boat set up for relaxing. Ha! Not 30 seconds after I said that. There we go. Trip notification. Thank you for using CBP Roam. Your inspection is cleared. You do not have to report to a CBP Roam office. Haha, or a CBP office. Cool. We are in America. Awesome. We've spent a wonderful few relaxing days here at Maho Bay. Not doing too much, just kind of enjoying the beautiful scenery of St. John and resting up because today, what's happening, Lindy?
The Mosleys are coming.
Yep, that's right. My college roommate and his family that visited us in Beckway a couple of years ago are coming here to St. John for a week. So it's kind of neat up until this point of the season, like all the moves we were doing were to kind of stay on schedule to be here now, which is different than how we usually do when we don't have visitors coming somewhere. But it's you know, it's always cool when we make it to the area where our friends are coming to and get set up to have some people aboard and do some fun shore excursions. So today we're moving closer to Cruz Bay, as close as we can get to, because that's where they'll come in on the ferry from St. Thomas, and they've got an Airbnb there. So, all right. Boat's all set up for just a few mile move around the island, and we'll go get ready. It's about 9 a.m. in the morning, and they arrive at 7 p.m. or so. So we'll have all day once we get set up. We're are here in Maho Bay, just around the corner from Cruz Bay where the ferry comes. Right around that corner, you turn in and yeah, the city's right there. But this is a real pretty bay, Maho. Got some nice beaches. We're about to get in the dinghy and head into town. Wait for our friends to get here on the ferry. And we're right over here by St. Thomas now. That's St. Thomas right there. Here's the point that we'll go around to go into Cruz Bay. Surrounded by the Moseley National Park of the island of St. John is the cool little city of Cruz Bay. There's lots of shops and restaurants and a grocery store here, and like I said, it's where the ferry from St. Thomas arrives. One really crazy thing happened while we waited for my roommate Chris and his family. Another one of our friends from the University of Georgia that I hadn't seen in more than 20 years, also named Chris, was sitting at the bar where we were waiting on the ferry. How crazy is that? Soon the ferry arrived and my roommate Chris and his family walked onto the dock. Can you believe that they weren't shocked that I was pointing a camera in their face? Our now group of 8 was ready for a week of fun. It was an awesome reunion, meeting up with the Mosleys here in St. John, and even unexpectedly meeting another college friend of ours up there, Chris Wiggins and his wife Danielle. Unbelievable that we all ran into each other. And now we're gonna take the big boat around to Cruz Bay. I'm gonna dinghy in and get the Mosleys, and then we're gonna motor the big boat back around to Maho Bay and have a beach day there, so that should be fun.
There's Zach. Oh my gosh, is this like weird for you because nobody films you, you film everybody?
That's right.
Period. Zach's our captain. Here you go, Zach.
How was the swim, guys? Yeah, did you see any turtles?
No, we saw a whole lot of nothing. I saw a turtle. We saw a turtle.
Yeah. Awesome. I love when friends come to visit and we get to show them a little bit of the cruising life in the islands. After an awesome first day of their vacation at Maho Bay, we motored back around to Cruz Bay and went to one of our favorite restaurants, Tap and Still, for burgers and fries, before turning in to rest up for a full week of non-stop fun.
Do something cool, Grace. How are we going to get 1 million hits if you're just sitting there?